Alright guys, the topic of today's video, when acting tough fails.
Tough guys fail miserably when things get real. Have you ever met someone who talks about a big game but can't back it up when push comes to shove? We've all seen those tough guys who act like they're invincible, at least until reality hits them.
Yeah. And look, at the end of the day, guys who are actually tough don't need to tell people that they're tough. It's just like a lion doesn't need to explain to the jungle that it's a lion. Do you know what I'm saying? Continuing.
Today we're getting into the world of epic fails, where these supposed badasses fail miserably when things get real.
Yeah, right.
But before we get into things, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fun videos like this.
Yeah, subscribe to Fightflix and to me as well, thanks guys. Hit the thumbs up.
We have a self-proclaimed Tai Chi master. I mean, his moves are even awkward to watch. On the other hand, a fighter known as Mad Dog said some things about Tai Chi, and the master here decided to challenge him to a fight.
So I think Mr. Tai Chi here, he's probably what, late 50s, early 60s? I think in his mind, he wishes he was like 25 again, and it looks like he thinks he's up to taking on a professional fighter here. I don't know if that's the case. I mean, for starters, he doesn't even look like he's dressed or prepared for this situation. So I don't think it's going to end well for awkward Mr. Tai Chi here. Let's see.
Challenge there. When the fight's about to start, a crowd gathers all around. Cameras are rolling. There's a lot that Mr. Tai Chi had to prove. A lot of responsibility. We're not sure what
good on him for having a go
like when made this challenge against an experienced fighter. And his physique was a statement itself.
He's taken two and he's done. Really?
Seconds, the confrontation
he's still going. Oh, he's asleep.
Undeniable.
Dude, he's going to go to the hospital after that.
Taking all those punches.
Dude.
Could have stayed away from all this by simply not being a part.
I mean, hey, the moral of the story here, stay in your lane. I mean, you want to act tough against a professional fighter. I mean, dude, your ish is Tai Chi. Like, I don't know much about Tai Chi, but it's a good workout, kind of like art and movement. I don't think you're going to do too well in the MMA realm.
Next, we have our very own Aikido champ. We've seen him talking about the big game in this video. He goes on about how Aikido's better than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He talks about neutralizing the target. But what happens when he has to face a Jiu-Jitsu fighter? The stage is set for a confrontation for our Aikido master to show what he's working with.
Aikido, isn't that what Steven Seagal does? It's Aikido, right? I think I've heard on a few talk shows and stuff, and again, I'm not pretending I'm a tough guy or know anything about martial arts. I can't remember if it was Joe Rogan or somewhere else, but apparently in the realm of like combat sports, it's kind of useless. I don't know. Maybe you martial arts experts can let me know, but let's see how this goes.
As soon as they start fighting, the Aikido master loses the stage, making efforts to save himself. It's almost embarrassing to watch. Looks like he's desperate to fight back, but our jiu-jitsu fighter
looks so amateur,
picks him up on his shoulder.
Yeah, it looks like he's going easy on him.
Couldn't go any worse. Oh, but it did. He throws him on the ground, and before things escalate more, the Aikido master gives up, saying, "I'm out."
He looks out of breath already. Dude, he didn't even do anything.
The target.
Guys, I work behind a desk and I don't exercise anywhere near as much as I used to. I'm not tough. I have no combat training. But I would have at least given it a go if I was in that situation. The biggest issue I see there is that the Aikido fellow just looked like he had absolutely no heart whatsoever. That's probably the bit that I'm most offended by.
This next one's interesting. We have an Aikido master who can beat men without even having to touch them. You heard that right. A fight without touching them. And if
it's
you're
a spiritual
how
tough.
Is this possible? The answer is of force. To show that he's unbeatable, he even goes on to bet people $5,000 to beat him in a fight.
Oh.
And today we're seeing the instance when someone decided to take on this challenge. That's our Aikido master in black here. As soon as the fight started, the opponent subdued him pretty quickly. I mean, he did not hesitate in fighting. He throws in punches, kicks him, basically takes all the force out of him. And as you would expect, the master loses very quickly in the game. That has to be embarrassing, especially in front of all these people.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know what to make of that situation. Is it just a lack of self-awareness, thinking that you actually can win with like no skill or no talent? Is it you think people are not going to try or go in easy on you because you're aging or you're older? I don't know what was to be achieved in that situation, but one thing's for sure, if you're going to call people out, you better be ready to back it up, because sometimes you're going to approach the wrong person and you're going to regret it.
Next up is this person. What name can we even give him? He's trying to provoke the guard out here. He keeps doing these weird dances, gestures, trying to provoke a fight. We're not even sure if there's a point to all this.
Yeah.
But he's taking on a big challenge here. That guard looks like he'd squeeze the life out of him. It's some risk-taking. He's also covering his face here, which means either he doesn't want people to know who he is because of the weird dances, or he doesn't want the bouncers to know because he fears for his life.
Look, surely this guy's on drugs, right? If not, I don't know what it is he's trying to achieve. I just love watching the body language here. You know, the guy in the brown dancing around, trying to show off, trying to overcompensate for something. You can tell the guy that's being challenged in the black there, he really doesn't want to deal with it. He's just staying cool, calm, composed, and he's like, hey, you know what? Whatever happens, I'll deal with it as it comes. You can tell the guy in the black is emotionally stable and has nothing to prove.
We can only guess, but both are pretty good contenders.
I don't even think he wants to fight.
In the end, we
but
see
he's not going to get punked by this guy.
Which was the best decision he made that night. Here we see a street fighter, the guy with blonde hair challenging the other person. He's aggressive. He's cocky. He claims that he can beat a Japanese guy in a suit. Pretty disrespectful. But more importantly, he just put too much faith in himself here. When the fight comes a few months later, let's see what happens. Our not-so-blonde guy here is up against the Japanese guy he's surely going to beat. That's what he thought. Throughout the fight, the other guy
there we go.
calm.
He's getting served.
Smoothly tackling all of his attempts, doing more damage than our street fighter. He throws in punches, weakens him in the knee, quite literally. But he does all of that with a calm and composed face. That's a pro right there. The not-so-blonde guy's desperate, and that's now very clear on his face.
So was that a wig he was wearing before?
But understandably so. He had a lot to prove. And chances of him providing a lot were decreasing with every punch he took. And pretty soon he gives up, lying down in the ring.
Yeah.
Should have thought about it when he challenged someone. And
yeah, I mean, he should have definitely thought about it when he challenged someone, but at least he went in there and gave it a good go. I mean, I think he gave it a good go. Like, he got his ass absolutely handed to him. You don't know if you're going to beat someone or not, but at least he manned up and actually fought to begin with. But you know what they say at the same time? The dog that barks loudest is usually the weakest in the pack. And that seems to be the case with this guy. Just stop picking fights that you can't win. It's common sense, guys. It's not rocket science.
And underestimated him. Next, we have this kid here at the Palace. Looks like his first time with all that entitlement and with the childish thing he pulled here. He decides to take a picture with one of the king's guards, and while posing, he starts showing gang signs. We all see the childish in this. The guard looks annoyed at first, who wouldn't be after an already long day of standing, and he decides to take all the gangness out of him. A sudden movement and all that cockiness goes right out. Served him right if you ask us.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely, pussy.
Same as the guy in this video. He decides that it seems like a good idea to go to the grocery store, start recording a video, and in the presence of others say that I will pee on the person behind me. Does not look like a good idea to us, but still he did that.
You deserve to have your head put in the concrete as far as I'm concerned. I mean, how can you put someone through the ultimate humiliation? Especially a stranger who's minding their own business and did nothing wrong. Let's see how this went.
Gestures that he's coming at our prankster, and all the craziness left his body, along with the
Yeah, he
soul.
saw it coming.
It's what he deserved
Don't
to
get
annoy
your
him in the
dick out
middle
in
of an
front of other
already
dudes unless you're
exhausting
peeing
task.
in a public bathroom.
Here we have our two fighters preparing for a match to start. Let's call them Mr. Yellow and Mr. Blue. Mr. Blue here is telling us that he drove all the way down to kick the yellow guy's ass. Pretty determined. We got to appreciate that. He tells him that he looked him up and researched him before coming down here. Pretty scary, right?
Oh,
see if he does keep his word.
on. Look at the guy in yellow. Look at the guy in yellow. He looks like he's in shape. He works out. He knows how to fight. And then this other guy looks like he just came straight out of the pub after 6 pints of Foster's beer. I'm allowed to say that joke. I'm Australian. Look, he's not even wearing proper shoes and proper fight gear. Dude, this is not going to work out well. I reckon 3 or 4 punches. Yeah, that's it. We all saw how that was going to go.
It becomes clear that he has no upper hand here. He takes in multiple punches, getting thrown here and there. Mr.
Guy in the yellow not even trying.
Him a chance to do any damage. Mr. Yellow now is the cocky one, but he showed us why he can be.
He's not even trying. He's holding back.
Match from the very start.
Dude.
We can all agree.
Wow.
Two's ass. This one is funny from the get-go of it. We have here this dude trying to be cool and tough by beeping at a girl's car for no apparent reason.
I have a boyfriend's in there.
We all know those people can't drive without the need to be aggressive. That's this dude right here. But he decides to be extra. He gets out of the car and goes to punch the girl's car and leaves. What did he hope to get out of this? We can't tell, but we can tell what he actually got, and this is the funny part. The girl's stepfather found him 2 days later and made him video call her to apologize. He looks terrified. We can only imagine what her father did to him that led to this call.
Oh, you don't mess with daddy's little girl. Again, you reap what you sow. Just be very, very careful with how you treat people, because you never know when you're going to meet them again or what's going to happen down the line, eh?
Let's take a look at this match, or something like it. This man thinks it'll be a good idea to challenge a Muay Thai fight. With no expertise of his own, he got into the ring with the belief that he would win. Quite a level of self-confidence. A few minutes into the fight, we must have realized that the idea wasn't a good one, because we see it.
Dude, that's embarrassing. I mean, the other guy even let you wear the headgear and everything. So one's ready for a professional fight, and the other one, who made the challenge, is dressed up for an amateur fight. Had all the advantages and everything, and he just still had his clock cleaned.
Took him a few punches and a few kicks to give in. We could all see it
coming.
Oh,
that would have...
Makes you wonder why he didn't.
There's a brain injury coming.
We have a very cocky 18-year-old who went looking for some challenge. He wants to fight someone. I mean, where else will all that testosterone go?
To be fair, when you're 18, you don't quite know better yet. I mean, I'm not saying you should just go challenging people on the street. But, you know, at that age, you're still kind of like finding your feet as a man. And, you know, you don't have that maturity yet. So when you're 18 years old, you could say that, like, winning a fight or proving that you're tough, you kind of at least feel like in your head is like a rite of passage. That's obviously not necessarily the case, of course. But, you know, 18-year-olds don't know better. And they usually learn the hard way at least once or twice.
The gym owner decided to teach him a lesson and sent a 16-year-old to fight him. Now, obviously, he would have thought it true. As soon as the match started, he showed he had no respect for the kid. Calls him an ass. But as soon as we see that our 18-year-old has seen exactly why this kid was sent to face him, he had some moves. But he was a tough guy. He could beat a kid, or so he thought. Punches after punches, his toughness was now going down. He was completely done a few minutes into the fight. He ain't messing with kids now.
No.
And we saved the best for last. This cocky student called out his coach for a fight. That's a very high level of toughness that he showed, or stupidness. We'll see this in a minute. He starts out strong, confident position. Coach throws the first punch, but he looks like he can take it. Deep breaths. He takes his first attempt, but he misses, and the counterpunch sends him flying across the ring.
Oh!
He reconsidered his decision sitting there.
That was beautiful.
That had to hurt. And there you have it, a front row seat to the world of fake tough guys.
Well, there you have it. That was interesting. Not sure it was entirely what I was expecting, but it was entertaining for 10 minutes nevertheless. Thank you for watching another one of my videos. We will see you on the next one.